We made it to another end of the week, boys and girls. Welcome to the crescendo of the Highbury Squad's always phenomenal content, don't you think? It's Kevin Says Live weekly fan Q&A. You better be prepared because he is. Here we go. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever in the world you might be. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. Super Kev is in the house, Super Kevin Campbell.
How are you, soul? Funky Friday's here.
You know what? I've had a terrible migraine for 2 days, but that's okay because you know why? You teach me. You just march on. And I was editing our talented Gooners interview we did as well with a very special young man. And as I was watching that, I'm like, you're going to complain about a migraine? No. I think you know what I'm talking about. And the premiere of that will come out a bit later on this weekend. And so here we are, Kev.
Squaddies in chat. Squaddies who watching later or after. At ease. Let's get into it.
We're going to get into it, but before we do, I have to talk to you about a couple things. So you know how we have a variety of listeners who they're so diverse and they all are amazing and they have their own little personalities and they do incredible things for us and they all appreciate what we do for them, right? So I have to show this because this week, this arrived, Super Kev, at the Casa here in the Grand United States.
Lovely.
I would like to extend a huge thanks to Mr. Jags, who won the Aubameyang mount signed, and he re-gifted it to the Highbury Squad. So we're going to start our own very, very important Highbury Squad Hall of Fame. And there will be 2 inductees going into the Hall of Fame in the next few weeks, Kev, and Jags will be one of the first 2. I didn't want to do this. I had this from Wednesday, but I said to Jags, I'm not going to show it or share it until Super Kev is on as well. Beautiful of him to do this. Shipped all the way here from London. And basically he wanted to say thank you to us for all that we do on the show. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was a really, really nice gesture, obviously. You know, listen, it's because of the Highbury Squad why he's on a winning streak, isn't he? So that's the Jags.
It's like you in 91, Kim. It's like you in 91.
That's the least you can do, Jags. You know what I mean? No, that's really nice of you. I really appreciate it. I'm sure it's going to take pride of place. So.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, we're starting it. And we've got all of our favourites in the house. Johnny Boy, Taib, Soph from Gooner, Gossip, Virginia, JJ, Mark, Matty K. Wait, hold on a second. Shouldn't you be sleeping after last night's shenanigans? A huge congratulations to one of our favourites, Magic Mike, for winning the Best Charity Award at the FCA's last night. This was one of my favourites, I have to say.
Absolutely buzzing for you, Mike. You flew all the way over here and make sure you picked... Did you know? You picked up your gong. Brilliant.
So good, Kev. So good. And also, by the way, we want to say very well done to Curtis, a very good friend of the show, Kev. We love Curtis.
Yes.
And he sent me a very nice message saying next year it will be you and Kev. So that was very cute of Curtis. A huge shout out, of course, to Tom Canton, who got the bronze.
Yes.
And, of course, Clive and Elliot from Arsenal Vision, who won. And Tim Stillman, who does so much for Arsenal women and has put Arsenal women's stories on the map. We're very proud of our Gooner universe. And we are sending you all lots of congratulations. Then, Kev, before we get stuck into your epic questions for today, the juxtaposition to all of that is this type of squaddie and Arsenal fan. You got Vinny, who's going a bit nuts because he knows what's coming, Kev. We had Dan Potts on the show. And when we were talking to Dan, there was some artistic comments about Newman.
Oh, yeah.
And then Newman felt like he was challenged to create a combo Lee Judge's TV Highbury squad piece of art. Are you ready for this?
No, but you're going to do it anyway.
I am.
I tell you what, that's all right.
I mean, I love the me, you, and Dan with the for Funky Friday.
But I'm telling you, Judges is going to love that. He's going to love that. I tell you, you've done it. Hey, I tell you what, Newman, he might keep this. This might be a proper piece of art.
Kev, when I saw it, I sent you a voice note, and I go, "Oh my God, I can't believe."
I'm not saying it, and you know what? I wouldn't go looking for it because I knew I was going to see it for the first time.
And he's like, "Wait for it! It's here, Newman." Oh, I tell you something, Newman. Well done. It's such good.
I like this one.
I do.
I really like this one.
It's my favourite. It's just gold. Gianni Judges. Look at the little.
Gianni Judges. He's in Armani. Look at that. Look.
He's put him in Armani. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Newman. We'll take that off the screen because no one's eyes are ever going to be the same again, Kev. There's only one way to follow this up, and that is to get stuck in to the task at hand. Super Kev is back. It is, Kevin says, 3 questions. Are you ready for number 1? Let's get stuck in, everyone. Love you all. Thanks for joining us. Here we go.
Hi, Squaddies. South. This is Kev Says, and I want to get straight into it. I'll deal with all the other bits at the end. Question number 1. Will Thomas Partey score for Arsenal this season? He's doing it for Ghana, but will he score for Arsenal this season? Question 1.
This is a great question. He scored. Not only did he score, Kev, but he scored 2 blinders.
Exactly. So we can do it. So that's why I'm thinking, do you know what? Everybody talks about his shooting, his this, his that. But he can do it. So will he score for the Arsenal this season?
I mean, for me, so we know so far he couldn't hit, is it a barn door? What's the saying? Can't hit a barn door with a whatever, right?
No, he couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo.
Well, that too.
Like that. Yeah.
But I thought the first goal was far superior to the second, Kev. To see him, it wasn't a dead ball situation. He took on a couple players, and it was, for me, I was like, wow, dude, you can do that as well. Amazing. So let me get to the Squaddies immediately and see what they have to say, because it's been a bit of a running joke, isn't it? Like, he could be a great kicker in the NFL and all of that. How amazing would it be if he backs up?
It's kept a few people quiet. But, you know,
you mean like Josh?
Once is a fluke. Twice in 2 games, it's like, whoa, hold on a minute.
I mean, like I said, the first one blew my mind. I thought that was unbelievable. So let me get to some comments here from the old Squaddies. Let's see what you have to say. Firstly, Magic Mike wants you to know that next time you see Judges, bring him a bread roll. He's insatiable. I didn't think Lee Judges was a carb man, Kev.
Oh, he is. Lee with the best of them. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he's got those genes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got them genes. Wrangler. Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, Partey will score against Palace, says Taib. Ooh, big claim, Taib. We like that.
Taib, I like that.
Coming off a yellow card, making bold statements. We like that, Kev. Yeah. Let's see. Take me back. Yes. Yeah, he will. We hope. Winston says yes. The kid says, oh, he'll score. Soph says, yes, he will score against Crystal Palace. Another bold statement. Go on, Soph.
I love it. Confidence, yes.
We got Chris, easy one. Yes, Matty K. Yeah, he'll bag 3 this season and kill this lot. I tell you, what are we going to do with them, Kev? Wait, as long as he doesn't kill a greyhound like in Ted Lasso, we'll be good with that. Football is life, remember, never forget that. And by the way, football is life. And in true Highbury squad fashion, if you guys know, you know. Believe. Believe in the Arsenal, Kev. Believe that we will do this. Let's go. We'll get back to the comments. Here we go. Chai says, I want Partey to score, but I won't judge him if he doesn't. He does have a lot. He does a lot more for the team. Kev, you've said, and we've talked a lot about, that we need more goals outside of Aubameyang if we're going to progress this season. I think I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, I do think we need more goals from the flanks and the midfield.
Well, I think anywhere where the players can chip in is really important to us, Soph. I think that's really key. So, you know, the fact of, I think Matty said he'll score 3 this season. I'm sure we'd take 3 if we knew he was going to score 3 from that holding midfield position. We'll take that, wouldn't we? Mm-hmm. You know, we definitely would take it.
Okay, Mark says, come on, Mark. What's that about? Rosie, Mo says yes. Let's see. 33 fivers. How much money is that? 33 times 5. Who can do that maths in their head? Not me. Hell yes, he's going to get closer to the goal.
165, isn't it?
Of course, Kev, you're amazing. That's why I come to you for financial advice. He will score for Bath Rugby. Ah, Johnny boy, come on, Kev.
Is Johnny boy Johnny Wilkinson? Is he like Johnny Wilkinson? Right over the post.
I love it. He will score Monday. Watch. Listen, we're under the lights. Everyone's watching Mondays, Monday Night Football, Kev.
Monday Night Football, MNF, mate, yeah.
Come on. Blessings, thank you so much. Rich, absolutely he will score. It's just a percentage game. Kev, you've got to keep shooting. If you don't keep shooting...
Yeah, you don't score. If you don't shoot, you don't score. One of the things is, what we don't want to do is make him not be comfortable to shoot. We know, because don't forget, John Jensen was the same. John Jensen at times, he didn't even look anywhere near the goal where he would score at times. But you know, when he scored, he ran around telling everybody, didn't he? I did it, I told you all. But it was good fun. But I think Thomas Partey, we really need to get him on the score sheet. So really
John Jensen had a better perm than all my aunties. It was great. It was natural though, wasn't it? Was it natural, or did he get...
It was natural, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Partey will score a screamer. This is what I think. When he scores, it's going to be biblical. It's going to be one of those moments.
Where were you when Thomas Partey scored?
Another pigeon comment. Brady's banana. He better. I'm going to have a tenner on him. Nice. Why not have a little flutter? As long as it's sensible. As long as it's sensible. Don't gamble irresponsibly. Of course, we do not endorse that. What do you mean is Kev underwater? Why, does he look like he's in the sea? I don't understand.
I'm not sure what that means.
He will do a Jensen, says Stephen. Thomas Jensen. I like that, says Hotcakes.
No, we want him scoring more than Faxa.
I think so. Like a broken clock. That's right, twice a day. He'll eventually stick one in this season. I like that. Evgeny, Willian scored 1. Partey should 2 then. Oh, poor Willian. Bless him. We ripped him to shreds. Elliot, yes, I'd say he'd score 2. What? I'd say he scores 2 to... Yes, I would. Could you imagine? What are the odds on that, Kev?
Wow.
We should have Alan. I'll ask Alan.
That's got to be 100 plus, isn't it? Thomas Partey to score 2 goals.
That's got to be 100 to 1. Against Palace?
Maybe more.
Wow. That would be an insane bet. The Simpsons, yes, he'll score, and Josh will want to sell him.
Very true. The Simpsons, you are bang on. That's just upping his price.
Okay, is Kev's mic soft? No, maybe mine's loud. I'm going to turn it off. You guys turn it down. Tell me if you think I sound better now, and you can hear Kev. Mohammed says I get this funny.
Me? Can they hear me? Is
they
that
can
better
hear.
for
Yeah.
everybody?
Testing, 1, 2. Go on, Kev.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Party to score 2 on Monday. Whoa, yes, I like it.
I can hear you just fine, sir. I get this funny feeling that Party's goal will come before the next international break, which is in November.
So
All right.
this batch of games he means, I'm sure.
Yeah.
In this batch of games, yeah.
Tammy says defo, but there'll be a couple rosies. I mean, he's done the rosy. We've had the rosy.
And we're going to get plenty more because that's the life of a midfielder. Let's be honest, we've seen most don't go where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But I think if he gets one, then, you know, like buses and trains, they might come into...
At the 29, Kev, the old 29.
You know that. The
I remember,
3 or 2B, Brixton.
Do you remember when it was 10p to get on the bus, Kev?
Oh, yeah. God.
Oh, my God. 29 down to Wood Green, get on the tube, and then the tube would be like 50p. I mean, forget about it. Stephen says, not enough, though. Give some... No, I don't think he's a penalty taker, Kev. No, right?
No, he's not a penalty taker. But I'm sure he could take penalties, but he is what he is, and he's that midfield general. And if we could get him going with goals, I think we... Do you know what? He's got the ability to do it in open play a lot, Sophie, because he's capable. He is capable.
Why do you guys hear an echo? You're hearing an echo from Kev? I don't hear it at all. I don't hear an echo.
Go out and come back in. If they're hearing an echo, I'll go out and come back in.
All right, okay.
1 sec.
Here I am on my own for 2 seconds on Super Kev's Kevin Says. Echo, really? Interesting. Well, look, you guys are our north, our south. They can hear now, says Mo. And you're looking for 5+. We're going to bring the Super Kev back in. Hello, Kev. It's good for me.
The Squaddies have to let us know if there's an echo.
Yeah, okay. All right. Echo.
Is there
He's
still
low.
an echo?
He needs a new mic. Yeah, Kev is faint. All right. Well, look. We're going to keep going. I've turned down my mic.
Let me turn up mine. Mine's going up now. So I've got an echo. I'm low.
No, it's crispy now. Look, we're
Yeah?
crispy.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
Is
let's
that
go.
all
Let's
right?
keep going. Absolutely.
Good.
All right, here we go. Let's see. I can't believe that we are behind in the Arsenal table. What do you mean? I don't understand what that means. Zamir says, I just want part...
He's the Leicester fan, isn't he? He said he can't believe he's behind us in the league.
Hello, Leicester fan. What do you think of them apples?
Sit down.
You're going to lose your manager to Newcastle, it seems. Just saying. Au revoir, Senor Rogers. How about them apples? And I lauded you in the summer. Said that your signings, why aren't we doing that? And look at what happens. This is why we all have to just simmer down a little bit. Kev says it all the time. Yeah. Mohamed El Neni starts. Where's this come from? My goodness, Kev. Not sure about that.
Hey, listen, I don't agree with that, but it's a game of opinions.
Yeah, it's a game of opinion. So basically, everyone thinks that he will score eventually, Kev. And when it comes, it's going to be biblical. So Newman also trying to get Taib sent off completely for sabotaging Super Kev.
Is it Taib after what happened to him yesterday?
Yeah, He's a bit bitter about that. He's a bit bitter. Every time he's captained us, Ghana, welcome the kid from Ghana, he scores. Give him the armband. I'm surprised he doesn't have the armband full time, to be honest with you. All right, that's question number 1 done. Thomas Partey will score. Some of you think he'll score against Crystal Palace. I think that would be wonderful if that is the case. So here we go with... I'll take that, Kev. Someone even said they're willing to put in a bet that he'll score 2. Question number 2. Are you ready for this one? I'm not sure, but I think you are.
Question number 2, Squaddies. Is it okay for ex-Arsenal players to badmouth the club? Is it all right? Is it acceptable? Question number 2.
Well, I believe I said enough about this one on the show this week.
Without me.
Without you. You know why, Kev? I'm actually glad that you weren't on that show, to be honest with you, because I wanted to talk about how some players talk about the club and others don't. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Mm-hmm. And my point was, Arsenal haven't fed me. Mm-hmm. I fed Arsenal as a fan. Mm-hmm. Okay? 20th Century Fox, Sony Pictures, MGM, they fed me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't badmouth them. I may not have been happy with them at the time, but I wouldn't badmouth them to people in the industry or the media. They gave me the best years of my life. I saw the world. I did incredible things that, I don't say this with arrogance, but just with honesty, that I did things that maybe some people may never do, right? And that's only because of my job and the job that I had. And it was incredible. I have the most phenomenal memories. I gave the example of you. You never wanted to leave Arsenal. You wanted to be at Arsenal for your entire career. Mm-hmm. But you were sold, but you've never utilised that as a weapon to talk smack about the club. So I brought up you and Wrighty and how you've handled talking about the club versus, say, Thierry Henry, who, in my opinion, is a demigod, a legend. I mean, he's on a pedestal.
Of course he is.
But when you go to an Arsenal game and
with a statue.
With a statue. When you go to an Arsenal game and you're sitting next to a dude that wants to take over the club, you have to start asking questions about, okay, when you say things now and you use the platform of Amazon, is there a motive? i.e., I don't care what anyone thinks. What has Daniel Ek promised you? Is it manager? Is it technical director? Is it director of football? Paul Merson, for example, he's had his troubles and his woes. He's on Sky Sports. He could actually combat everyone when they're talking smack about Arsenal, but he fuels the fire. I could do Edu's job. Give me the job. I'll do it. I'll rebuild Arsenal. So I love this question coming from you especially, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. So I'm just going to Go on,
Can
Kev.
I tell you the reason why I asked the question? I asked the question because obviously over the years we've seen players, ex-players, talk bad about the club. And obviously it's not that Thierry's talking bad about the club.
No, I agreed with what he said.
I hear Giroud come out and say stuff as well. And, you know, we were good. Giroud should keep his trap shut. We were good to him. We got him from obscurity in France. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, is it okay for ex-players to badmouth the club? Is it echoing again? I'm not sure what's
No. Look, Kev, Giroud came from Montpellier. He helped Montpellier win a title. He was the star player there, came to Arsenal. I agree with you about Giroud. Stop talking about, and again, I don't want to talk about someone's personal life and stuff, but you're talking about that you didn't sign for Everton because a friend of yours had a premonition and a sign from God. And then you start talking about God, but yet 2014 you were caught with your pants down in a hotel cheating on your wife. I mean, take it easy, mate. You know what I mean? And then Thierry Henry, for me, he is, and what he said, Kev, I totally agreed with, right? Yeah. But what I wanted him to say was, I know how hard it is to manage. I've managed in Liga and MLS, which is nowhere near as competitive as the Premier League. So I know how tough this must be for Arteta to be managing a legendary club, especially being a previous captain. But with that said, here are my concerns.
Here are my opinions.
Right. So here we go.
So it's what he didn't say, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Martin says it's okay for them to badmouth. It's just disappointing Arsenal have enough haters. Exactly. You can't sit in a stand with Daniel Ek and then not expect people to think that when you're talking on a platform like Amazon, you don't have ulterior motive. No, respect goes both ways. What do you mean by that, Mo? Let us know. Let's see. No, they shouldn't even be called legends in the first place if they can't show any support. Virginia, you and I don't agree always, but on this one, and as you know, Virginia, I am no Arteta fan, but I felt the need to back him and the club this week because we're under fire from many different outlets. And, you know, I just found it a little bit cheap considering he's been a failed manager and couldn't even progress his team deep in MLS playoffs. He was a disaster at Monaco, and to take jabs at Arteta, I thought was a bit rich. Never, never. Dwayne says, hello, have some respect for the club and the hand that fed you. That's my point. We as fans, people say, because someone came at me, Kevin, said, well, you talk all day about your opinion about the Arsenal, etc., etc. Arsenal haven't paid me millions and millions and millions of dollars. I've paid them fortunes in my life.
Yeah.
Izzy says, go on, Kev.
Yeah, you know the other thing is when what I look at is once you're on the inside of our football club, that's such a privileged position, Sophie. It is such a privileged position to be on the inside. And for Arsenal to look after you and pay you and protect you. I know I've been inside and I've been at other clubs, and there's no club that looks after you better than Arsenal. I'm telling you now. You know, so when I hear players saying bad stuff, and I'm not saying that this isn't aimed at Thierry Henry, this is aimed at like Sajuru, and with Nasri in the past, and to me it's just like, what are you talking about? If you haven't got anything good to say, button it.
Yeah, and then a couple people kind of said, well, Ian Wright came out with hashtag Kroenke out. I'm like, Ian Wright is not an owner of a club. He's a fan of Arsenal. And everyone's expressing opinions about Kroenke out. I think Ian has expressed concerns about Arteta, but he hasn't come out with a direct, it's
But
going back.
Managed. But he
And
hasn't
and there's
managed
the
either.
caveat, Kev. My whole thing here, guys, is that Henri's been a manager and he needs to at least say, I know how hard it is. So anyway, I've been putting some comments up. Keep them coming. They can express their opinion in a respectful way, but to badmouth the team and manager is not professional. Jack Wilshere didn't do that. Jack Wilshere could have when he came on our show, Kev.
He could have
didn't.
easily.
He didn't do that.
But he definitely didn't. He
Legends
spoke about the love for the club.
Yes. Legends can express their opinion. We're all capable of deciphering the content. Decipher it with a caveat. You guys, I tell you something, be careful what you wish for. You don't want Thierry Henry to be manager of this football club. You do not. I'm sorry. People think that I've been killed all week for this, and this doesn't change how I feel about him in terms
And
of
who he is to the club, yeah.
Kev, it's one of the greatest ever.
Of course, 100%.
It's okay, but let's also understand the league and landscape are different now. Brady's banana bad-mouthing is a little classless, usually says more about the person. Bad-mouthing, it hurts, but Henri never did. He gave an honest opinion, which I agree with it. I don't disagree with what he said about the Brighton game and Norwich. I do disagree with what he said about Tottenham. Come on now. Just because now all of a sudden Tottenham are supposedly garbage and we beat them, we took their pants down in half an hour. I don't care if we're in the 4th division or the Premier League. When we play Tottenham, we take their pants down. It's a good thing, right, Kev?
It's not only is it a good thing, Soph, but it's when we really needed a performance at home against them. We battered them. We smashed them up.
Exactly. Ex-players can say what they want, but be assured their status with the fans is at risk. Henri's stock with me is fallen. That's brave universal Greek, and I respect that. Bad mouthing, no. However, constructive criticism is good. Some ex-players are also you're right there. And also, Kev, Patrick Vieira was part of this group. The minute he was offered a job by Palace,
gone.
He was gone.
Because he wants to work. Patrick wants to work.
Right.
And, listen, we got Thierry Henry. I find it quite interesting that you don't hear Patrick Vieira say anything.
No.
You don't hear Bergkamp say anything.
Nope.
But Henry seems to be the one. Obviously, he was with Daniel Ek at the Spurs game. He seems to be the vocal one. And whatever he said is his opinion, and you agree with it, you disagree with it, etc. But I think, and I'm going into a little bit of my answer here, but I think it needs it. For me, the important part of it is to recognize the situation at Arsenal. Because it's easy to just fire, just like the media fire at us.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation is what it is. We were awful the first 3 games of the season. The next 3 we were fine, and then the Brighton game we were crap, but we got away with a point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of par. We're in the middle, we're par. And is it good enough? No, we've discussed it, Sophie. We know it's not good enough.
Right.
But when you have managed, or you've actually done the same job, and you haven't been successful, then maybe you need to come down a little bit and say, do you know what? I can't quite see what's going on, but I know he's working hard. I know how hard the job is. Again, you've got to add a few layers of context in there, or else it just looks like he's panning the manager and panning the players.
Right. Exactly. And also, Kev, this whole Daniel Ek thing, right? He doesn't have a smidgen of the money of the Cronkies. And I'm not saying the Cronkies are good owners. We're not talking about that. But in terms of if you want a takeover, that is not the takeover you want, kids.
I could tell you now, Sophie, I didn't like it at the start. You want to know why I didn't like it at the start? Because he led with Bergkamp, Vieira, and Henry.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a serious owner, you don't push them guys in front. You do your business in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do.
And like Lone Star says, prove yourself as a manager. Arteta is manager of the month. Keep complaining. And, I just think whether you're Arteta in, Arteta out, Arteta lover or Arteta not, right now, Arteta is a far superior manager to Thierry Henry. And I think he should have given it some context. Nick says, being an ex-player and captain of a club, then go on and be manager of that club is huge. It's difficult, as we saw that with Stuart Pearce at Nottingham Forest. And Kev, it's worked for some players. Like, it's different. Antonio Conte at Juventus had mucho money to spend, right? Pep Guardiola at Barcelona, mucho money to spend. Simeone at Atletico Madrid, they sold players for mucho money and they reinvested that mucho money in other players as well. Look at Frank Lampard, a legend, not easy. We beat him. Arteta beat him.
Mm-hmm. And that was the big test, wasn't it? That FA Cup final was the 2 young managers. Who's going to get over the line?
And Arteta did it. So,
Arteta did it, yeah.
And yeah, I heard the Jack Wilshere on TalkSport. It was great, and he's great. And if you missed our interview, it's on the top of our YouTube channel. You can listen to that as well. Great Guna says, I bet Ek with less money will spend more of his own money than these Cronkies have. You don't know that. He will have to get loans. He will have to leverage in order to manage the club. Kev, you're better than me at finances and business, but there's no way.
Sophie, maybe fans think that if a new owner comes in, say like Newcastle, do people think they can just lump £1 billion into the bank account and they can just start spending? It doesn't work like that. You have to spend what you generate.
I love this from Mo. Why didn't X start as a title sponsor for Arsenal with Spotify to start building a bridge? Spotify Stadium. Boom. I love it. And with everyone having moral issues right now on the other front, you know, sometimes people say, well, look at Newcastle, where we're sponsored by Emirates, but it all works both ways. But if you could have Spotify Stadium, Kev, that's a smart. If you want to get involved, start somewhere. Spend your money somewhere.
Well, if you want to own it, you keep that shut and you get doing the business. If I want to own it, I don't want it to be called Spotify. If I'm Spotify, I don't want it to be called Spotify Stadium. I want to own the thing.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to be the owner and I've got enough readies to do it, I don't lead with 3 ex-players. That's for sure.
And Dennis hasn't really said much about it anyway, has he? They just used his name. They probably said, Dennis, do you mind if we use your name? Sure. No problem.
Well, maybe he was promising things. Listen, I don't know. I can only assume. Because you know what? As an ex-player, to put your name to something is very big. Especially when it comes to the Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
So Daniel Ek must have promised them something.
Sharon, welcome to the show. Why fans have thrown everyone has thrown their support at X so blindly. A lot of us want Kroenkes out, but we don't want to. Exactly. It's got to be the right owner with the right plan. And Elokshin, Thierry Henry's correct. It's not emotional. It's factual. He's a failed manager complaining about the progress of a current manager who's won a few games on the trot, got us out of the rock bottom, and won manager of the month. I'm not saying we're going to go and do great things, but keep it in perspective. Right. I'll keep those comments coming for you, Kev.
Yeah.
We're going to do question number 3.
Question number 3, the last one, the bonus. Can this Arsenal side prove us all wrong and surprise us this season in their performances and where they finish? Can they do it? So, question number 1, will Thomas Partey score for Arsenal this season? Question number 2, is it okay for ex-players to badmouth the club? Is it acceptable? And last but not least, can this Arsenal side prove us wrong this season where they finish and how they play? Anyway, look, I look forward to dealing with you, engaging with you, and having to bruck some of you up in the chat. Some of you are getting too fresh. So, let's see where this goes. Look after yourselves. Sophie, hostess with the mostest. I know you'll keep it all nice and try to keep it all level. And you squaddies, I salute you. At ease with the classic look.
That might be one of your best ever third question closes there. Super Kev. I love it. By the way, some people are saying, I can't believe this Sophie Arteta packed all of a sudden.
No pact.
Why can't you guys
Actually,
understand?
what you're doing is defending the Arsenal. That's what you're doing.
Thank you,
defending
Kev.
the badge. As soon as I heard, because obviously I heard all the flack coming in, I know you're defending the badge. Because at the end of the day, if somebody on TalkSport was saying what Thierry Henry was saying and he was a manager, you'd say the same thing.
Absolutely. And I phone them when I'm pissed off because I don't like what they're saying and stuff like that. And we've got a lot of smart Arsenal fans as well talking about how Ek wanted to up his stocks, Kev, for Spotify. And also Universal Greek made the very good point of how, look, you guys want to complain about Kroenke the way Newcastle fans complained about Ashley, for example. And look, both terrible owners, but careful, the better the devil you know than the devil you don't sometimes, in the sense that go ask musicians what they think about Daniel Ek. Go ask the Jonas Brothers or Taylor Swift what they think about how Daniel Ek treats musicians when it comes to royalties and so much more.
But that's all right, so.
Yeah. All right. So let's get these. God, there's some people saying your mic is still echoing. I do not hear it. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
One
okay.
sec, Soph.
All right. No worries. Okay. Let's go in here. Virginia says they'll surprise a lot of people this season, Kev. Now,
Can you hear me, Soph?
no, now there's an echo. That's worse. Now I can hear the echo. I say put your headphones back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do about it. There must be a gremlin in the system. I've been using it all day.
I think, you know what? I think it's Newman's art. I think that's what poisoned it.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
So now I can hear what everyone else is hearing. Now talk?
Hello.
That's better. Okay, cool. Can they prove who wrong?
Us.
Says Martin.
Us. The fans.
Matty K's bugger, what was the question? He missed it. Will the team surprise?
Can this Arsenal side surprise us fans and do better than we actually believe they can?
Lone Star says yes, top 6 is realistic, has to be, especially with no European football. I think the no European football thing comes into play. We've got to get back into Europe, Kevin.
Yes, 100%. But, you know, there's many, the way we started, it was doom and gloom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, can they surprise us?
I hope so, says Gunnar Gregg, but the Brighton performance was worrying. Let's see how we bounce back. Can't lose to Patrick Vieira, in my opinion. That would be not because it would be like detrimental in that, oh my God, where do we go from here kind of thing, but just from a morale, confidence, beating an ex-Arsenal legend type of thing, and especially when you look at his record at Palace right now. Rohith says, depends on what the expectations are. The players have shown passion and fight. They really have, the new players especially. Right, Kev?
Yeah, 100%.
Kev, are you worried about AFCON and how it will affect how we roll?
Well, this is what the important part of where the plan. There's got to be a plan, and if we need to bring people in to the club in that January window, Sophie, that's what we got to do, because the African Cup of Nations could be a banana skin for us.
Speaking of banana skin, Brady's Banana says he has faith in the boys primarily because the defence is so much better. Get firing up front. I think this is a fantastic point. Goals, yes. Kevin.
Yeah, goals change everything, and we need our front boys or our forwards, attackers, to gel a lot better than they have done.
Johnny Boy says that we could surprise people, including fans and journalists, but we've got to see consistency. You and I have said it over and over, Kev. Consistency, then go on a run. Go on a run. You know?
Go on a run.
Yep.
And do you know what? The key to everything, Sophie, is not conceding. If we don't... sorry, I'm going into my thing. But if we don't concede... then you have a consistency there that you're always in the game to win it.
Mm-hmm. Evgeny says, surprising will be top 4. I hope we don't finish in the relegation zone to get surprised. I don't think we're going to. Look at the teams, Norwich, Newcastle, you know, there's Southampton are struggling now. I don't think we're going to be down there. Don't call me crazy, but I just don't. I think the blip, we started off the season with the team that the owners, the technical director and the manager did not want. That Brentford game, that team, that was makeshift.
Yeah.
I think, if we're being honest, you guys.
It was weak. Oh, Ian, get well with your elbow. Yeah, get well with your elbow.
Good luck, Ian. Take care, mate.
Yeah. He's had his operation, so all the best.
All right. Rich says, I believe we can surprise a few people. That all depends on the players' attitude. The talent is there. Another good point, Kev. You always talk about the players.
The attitude is so important. Yeah.
Arnie says they'll surprise me if they win the league. Oh, come on. We know that's not going to happen.
Arnie, it's still mathematically possible. I had them winning the league after the first 10 games, so don't worry about that.
Oh, so good. The owners will need to back the manager in January. Well, they've backed, listen, okay, cash flow backing. Everyone wants Kroenke to put his hands in his own pocket like Abramovich. And by the way, when everyone says Abramovich changed the game, Kev, from a monetarily point of view in the Premier League, people need to go back a little bit further to Mr. Walker at Blackburn Rovers. Do you agree? Do you agree with that, Kev?
Yeah, 100%. Of course, 100%. Because that's when the owner could go in his own pocket and lump the money into the club.
And he did.
Look what did they, and they really went on and won the league. Fantastic.
With Tim Sherwood.
Tim Sherwood, Shearer,
Sutton.
They went out and bought good players, set up in a nice formation, good manager, and they went for it.
Yeah.
Good team, but he was paying astronomical wages.
Yep, he certainly was. Right, I'm going to keep putting your comments up, and now it's Kev's turn. We hand the mic over to him, whether he echoes or not. Bear with us tonight,
even if
kids.
I'm echoing, you're hearing it once, twice, or thrice, so don't you worry about it, right? Can Thomas Partey, or will Thomas Partey score this season? I think he will. I think that young man has got too much talent to not get on the score sheet. Unlike Faxa Jensen, I don't think he's going to go crazy when he scores, or as crazy as Faxa did. But I know he has a bigger role to play in what we do, but it would be nice to see him score sooner rather than later. We've seen he can score spectacular goals, Sophie. We know he can. And we could do with a little bit of that in our midfield to ease the pressure off our forwards. So, yes, I do believe Thomas Partey will score this season.
When do you think, Kev? Do you have a little, if you were going to put a little cider on it, which you're not a gambling man, but if you were.
I'm not a gambling man. Listen, for me, it's
going to come sooner?
Yeah, I think he's going to score up until Christmas, this side of Christmas.
Okay.
I'd like it to be, I really would like it to be, Thomas, I really would like it to be this side of Christmas.
All right, second question.
Is it okay for ex-players to badmouth the Arsenal? Not give their opinion. Giving their opinion is one thing, but to badmouth the club and not be courteous to the club, I think it's disgraceful myself. If I'm honest with you, like I've said, I've been on the inside of Arsenal, and I know Arsenal treat the players as well as better than any other club. Let me tell you, better. So when I hear ex-players talking derogatory about Arsenal, it's difficult for me to take. One, because I'm a fan, and again, let me just stress to everybody, an opinion about the team and us not playing well, etc., is fine. We discussed that after games anyway, Sophie. We know we were crap. At Brighton, we were crap, etc. But when they start to dig a little deeper into our current team, because you know what? Our current team actually need us. Our current team definitely need our energy. They need our positivity. And yet it doesn't always go right. We know that it doesn't always go right. But you know what? Sometimes what we have to do, we have to take the positives out of a performance. Now, that performance at Brighton, for instance, which Thierry Henry mentioned was woeful, it was woeful. But you know what he didn't say? He didn't say, I've been involved in games like that where it weren't going great and we got a point. And you know what? In the end, that could be a really good point. So fair play to them. They didn't play well. but they got a point out of it. He didn't say that. He was just, I don't see where it's going. You know, it's not good enough. Da da da. For me, no. Thierry, try and protect Arsenal Football Club. That's what I see as a caring. You try and protect Arsenal Football Club. Giroud's not a gooner anyway, so the fact that he comes out with stuff like that, I don't like it, but he's not a gooner, so, you know, I just don't like ex-players coming out and having a go at the Arsenal, because you know what, we have enough of it, as you said, Sophie, we have enough of it in the media. We're fighting so many battles in the media, and have you noticed they've gone a bit quiet, the media? Why? Because we've produced results, and yeah, we weren't great at Brighton, and if we'd have lost at Brighton, they would have absolutely hammered us. But we've nicked a point, go away, we move on. You know, so again, an opinion, the truth of the opinion, no problem, mate. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. But whenever they badmouth the club, put the club down, I agree with you on that one, so I can't have it. Yeah, Mikel Arteta, listen, he does divide the fan base, and whether he's going to be a manager by Christmas, nobody knows. But you know, while he's there, and while these players are there, and there's a new impetus in the team, let's be a little bit more positive about them. So that's number 2.
Well said, Kev. Well said.
And right, number 3. So, can this Arsenal team surprise us? Do you know what, Soph? I think they can. I really think they can surprise us. But there's a few things that have to happen if they are going to surprise us. One, we're going to need that back 5 to stay healthy. We're going to need Thomas Partey to stay healthy. And obviously, until Africa Cup of Nations, we're going to need Sambi Lokonga to be quite prominent as well. And the key to all this, Sophie, is our boys up top have to be more clinical. If our boys up top are more clinical, I think we're going to have a really good season. I really do. But if we're not clinical, Soph, it's always going to be difficult if we can't put teams away. If you're not able to put teams away, teams just hang on and then they nick a goal. You know it's coming. It happened last season a lot of the time. So, again, I truly believe this team can do it. There might have to be a couple of additions in Jan. But all we need really is every part of the team to do their job. If they do their job, Soph, we're going to be all right.
So Kev, can I ask, I think for me, the most impressive team in the league so far has been Liverpool. And I don't think everyone was expecting Liverpool to be this good. And if you remember correctly, and we had the conversation where people were ripping Liverpool because they hadn't strengthened, they hadn't super invested in the transfer market. Meanwhile, you see City paying 100 million for Jack Grealish. You see United bringing in Jadon Sancho, Ronaldo, Varane. You got Leicester making all the moves they did. You have Chelsea making major moves as well. And now, for me, with all of that said, so far, just up until this point, Liverpool have been the most impressive team, right? And I think with your question and what you're saying is, everyone was expecting City to be running away with it already. Everyone thought it would be a two-horse race between City and Chelsea, and it could end up being that way. But I think the Premier League never ceases to amaze us and surprise us. Mm-hmm. If City don't get that striker, you and I think they'll struggle this season.
I think they got away with it last season, Soph.
Because everyone else was really poor and not there yet, you know.
It was difficult to adjust to them.
And
now, you can
injuries.
Teams have adjusted to it now.
Right.
And they're still a wonderful team, but they don't carry that potent threat. Listen, if they had a striker, they would have absolutely wiped the floor with Liverpool. Because that first half, the amount of chances they created. But this is one thing about Liverpool that you have to give them credit. And it kills me to say it, obviously. They are great at hanging on in there and keep going. That's what we lack, Soph. We lack being in the game, and when it's 0-0 or when it's close, can you keep battling and then nick one? And they have a player who's at the top of his game in Salah, Mo Salah, right now. He's outplayed that contract twice over.
Oh yeah.
He's the one keeping them at the pinnacle. Also, getting Van Dijk back at the back is key.
And Alisson, he was out for a while last season too.
But he was in and out. Alisson was in and out. There was
Trent, they lost Trent.
Exactly. But when they get their full squad, they're as strong as anybody with a full team.
Because there were times last year where they didn't have Robertson, Trent, Henderson, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Alisson. Their problem has been depth, hasn't it, Kev? But they've got, and someone said it, they've got a phenomenal manager who here, and you and I talk about Arsenal's growth as well has to be, and you can tell me as a player, engagement for 90 plus minutes. You can't lose your concentration for 30 seconds, and a hundredth of a second in a game. And we've been very guilty of that over the years.
Well, Sophie, you look at the first 3 games of our season. We were seeing lapses of concentration. We were seeing players being caught out of position. We were seeing players getting bullied. We were conceding goals from midgets, scoring headers at the back post, and we got 3 centre halves. You look at all the goals that we conceded, and then you look at the way we defended from the Norwich game forward. Mm-hmm. It's a chalk and cheese. So it really is chalk and cheese. Liverpool have Jurgen Klopp. People say he's a great manager. He is a great manager. But what he's done, Sophie, he's brought players in who can do the job.
Yeah, very good players.
Because let's be honest, Sophie. If we'd have been linked to a Robertson who was at Hull or wherever he was, what do you reckon the Arsenal fans would have said?
I mean, he was less known than Kieran Tierney.
Exactly. My point exactly so. Tomiyasu, he's coming from Italy. At least they can defend in Italy.
Yes.
But Robertson, they went because he's functional. Oh, this is what I want, and I need a player who can do it. And since he's been at the club, there's only, I think, 1 or 2 players who was there before his regime. 1 or 2, only. So what does that tell you about Liverpool and the squad? He needed to change because he knew that they weren't equipped mentally, physically, and probably on the left-hand side in the heart to do what he wanted them to do.
Yeah, and Kev, there's no reason why, and I say this, take it in the spirit of which it said, Arsenal fans and everyone, Tomiyasu could end up being that package. He could end up being that guy. Defended very well against Ronaldo, by the way, in Serie A. And also, Kev, do you remember when Liverpool signed Mo Salah and everyone called him a Chelsea reject?
Yeah, of course. Of course. We could have gone and got Mane from Southampton.
We could have. My God, the players that came out of that club, holy crap.
We could have gone and got Van Dijk from Celtic. Mm-hmm. Before he even went to Southampton. But we did. Again, recruitment is key.
And everyone laughed at Liverpool for spending 72 million on Van Dijk. Remember, Alisson, Van Dijk, that combined, I think it was 140 odd million. Mm-hmm, but especially like everyone talking about buying a Celtic reject for like 72 million or whatever. How's that, paid off? And look, Chelsea paid 72 million for Kepa. So, I just think we have to allow things to marinate. It's not even November yet.
And it's difficult, Sophie. You know why it's difficult? Because as Arsenal fans, we want to be involved in the mix-up, don't we? We want to be involved in the top end of the table come the end of the season. That's what we want. We want it so much. I get it. We do want it. But sometimes we have to let things take time.
We do. And look, as much as I know that Arteta's going to get till the end of the season with this squad to show what he can do, I'm also of the ilk still, and I stand by my words, that if by the end of November we're still languishing in 8th or 12th, you've got to start asking serious questions about his ability to manage a team and talent. That's just my take. Now...
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I truly believe, like I said, the big test was that last 4 league games. Norwich, Burnley, Spurs, and who was it? Brighton. That was a big test. Had a League Cup game in between that as well. 4 wins and a draw. If you get 5, then you're perfect. But we get 4 and a draw. You move on. Now, Soph, this chunk of games now should define our season.
Because it's Leicester, Villa. These are the teams now that are supposedly our... Not so much Palace, but Leicester, Villa, our rivals. Our new rivals.
Palace is a London derby,
yes.
So we've got to be up for that.
Right.
And again, the players reconvening and getting back focus, getting refocused again. Brighton game's gone. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Refocus. Now they've got an opportunity. If it was the team I was in, and somebody like Thierry Henry had said that about a team I was in, then this is the time we could ram it down their throat.
Because, Kev, there's another international break coming up in early November. And then when we get back from that, we've got Liverpool, Newcastle at home, Liverpool away, Newcastle home, and Man United away.
Yes.
So these games here for me, Leicester, Villa, Palace, no lose.
All winnable games. All winnable games. And again, the attitude's going to be tested. Our toughness is going to be tested, Sophie, as always. And you know what? Our ability to concentrate, because these teams will be as dangerous as we let them. Yes.
And teams, and Leicester are going to have a point to prove, aren't they, Kevin? Because they've been going through a really tricky time. You've got, Aston Villa, who are a little up and down so far this season. And like you said, Palace is a London derby. And Patrick has them playing a little bit differently, but we've got to beat Palace. We've got to beat Palace. We're so much better than them as a team. We really are.
Do you know the important thing for us, Sophie, is get the 3 points.
Yeah.
Get the 3 points. And do you know what? People always go on about, the team's got to play well. No, what we got to do is win. Playing well can come later. Let's get the wins on the board. Let's get moving. You get a win and a win and a win and a win. Next minute, you're up there. Now teams are going to start to fear you because, wow, they're 4th in the table or they're 5th in the table or whatever. Then teams are looking up at you. Then they respect you enough that they start backing off a little bit. You know what I mean? They don't really go for your jugular as much. But you have to earn that right, Soph.
Exactly.
And this is why us coming together now after the international, these next batch of games is going to really define our season.
So important. And Zamir, you're right. Palace has been a bit of a bogey team for us on and off over the years. But as Danny says, what are points, mate? Prizes! Good old Brucey, eh? Play your cards right. Oh, man. Saturday night TV. You couldn't beat it. Right, Kev, we have 300 plus.
Neither hit it, Vinny. Hit it, follow Vinny. Hit that like, nose it, kiss it, touch it, caress it, but hit the like button because you're a gooner. You don't like that lot down the road. We broke them up. Break them up. Don't break the like button. Just hit it.
How much would you love Steve Bruce on his exit out the door at Newcastle to beat the Spuds this weekend, Kev? How great would that be, eh?
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I would absolutely love it. I would
Kevin
love it. Love it.
We do love Super Kev, and that was a brilliant episode of Kevin Says. 3 fantastic questions. Thomas Partey, whether or not the team will surprise us, and of course, how should legends talk about the club? Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Let us know if you're listening on replay. Hit those comments on YouTube. Once again, Kev, well done. Bop. Now, we will be back for Monday night. Monday Madness is going to be the post-game show on Monday because we play.
So,
you're working. Are you working?
So,
yes.
I'm working with you.
Yeah.
So can I see? Can we put Newman's art back up one more time?
We can. And look, no bookings tonight. A little bit boring, can I just say? I mean, you know,
it was a good show. It was a good
show. Let's listen. When the legend Newman, do you ever realise how you've arrived in this universe? Super Kevin Campbell, Arsenal legend, Everton legend, is actually asking to see your art one more time.
Brilliant.
If Danny from a Bergkamp Wonderland will probably love this if he's still in the chat as well. Kev.
My God. I love it. Look at that. Oh my God.
I mean, have you ever seen anything like it in your life? I don't think I have.
He's got his Arsenal hat on as well. Even better, look. He's got his Gooners hat on.
I know. Our eyes are never, ever going to be the same. Newman's proudest moment in his life. Clip it. Share it, Newman. We give you permission to do so. Absolutely. He is a good man. Not ready for the Addies yet, but oh my God, Kev, I can't take it.
Look at Judges there. I'm telling you what, he's going to absolutely love that. I know he is. He's going to love that. Go on, Gianni.
Just one more time.
Oh, look. Do you know what? We could have a little bit of movement in the middle there.
Maybe we should GIF it. We should create a GIF out of this. So me, you, and Potsy are doing something with the old that our hips are moving. Or we don't want any of Gianni Judge's.
I want Gianni's hips moving. Look at him. He's loving himself. Look.
Oh, so good, so good. Well, look, we hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've enjoyed everything this week on the Highbury squad. Watch out for the talent.
By the way,
yes.
Did you see how well dressed Newman was?
Well, I mean, look, he's just stealing Gary Newman's look, isn't he? Yeah.
How well dressed he is. He's got the collar and tie on. Love it.
Who's the blonde? Who's the blonde?
I don't know, but Lee doesn't care. Well, he's got 2. There's one behind him with her hands on him. And there's one getting her leg over. So there you go.
Oh, God. I can't. It brings tears to my eyes. Oh, my God. Which pictures do you want? I'm showing the pic. Which picture do you want me to show, Gunner for Life? I'm showing them all. Lumberg. It is. Thank you. I'm like, it's got to be Lumberg's Armani ad that he's done that from. He'll let us know anyway. It's a Bond girl. Amazing. Holy cow! It's not Virginia. I tell you 100%.
Well, even I know that one.
It's not Virginia. She wouldn't allow that. She would not. Ian Wright. I don't know who you're talking about now. But anyway, all right, Kev. It's been a great show. We've got a premiere episode 2 of Who Are You this weekend between Super Kev and Pippa Monique from BT Sport and other great outlets. Of course, you see Pippa on AFTV as well. A great chat between Kevin and Pippa. And be sure to check that out. It's going to go out on Saturday night. We also have our premiere episode of Talented Gooners coming out this weekend too, with a very special young man called Mikey Pooley. You would really enjoy that. And we pre-recorded this week the premiere episode of Dan Potts Get Off the Potsy, which you will enjoy seeing in a few days, and that will go next week too. With Maria, of course. Okay, that's a good way. Well done. Yeah. That's a great way to end the show. Here it is, right here. If you missed it, oh, we love this picture, Kev.
Two absolute legends, obviously, right? Goes without saying, but the people who maybe don't get to the games, this young lady here is a bit of an Arsenal legend, because she goes to the youth game, she goes to reserve, she goes to first team, and you could always hear her shouting. I know her voice isn't quite what it was at the moment, but Maria, you are an absolute legend, and we love you so much. And Righty, big love to Righty anyway, but these two are real legends, real legends.
Totally. Just really special stuff. Really special stuff. And in case you missed it, our girl Anu did a review of Arsenal Everton and a wee update on Arsenal women in the WSL, which is on the channel already. So you could check that on too. Kev, that's it. We got the weekend off.
Well, here's what I'm going to say to the Squaddies, right? And yourself, Soph. Hostess with the mostest and you Squaddies. What I want you to do is watch the Premier League, watch the games, look at our opposition who we're going to be playing and see what they're up to. Because you know what? We've got a batch of games that are winnable right here, starting on Monday. So let's get positive, and hopefully our boys will surprise us, get some wins under our belt, and we start shifting up that table and making us proud. I don't even know what this is, but believe is truth. You've got to believe you can do it. And Squaddies, I love you and have a great weekend. And we will see you on Monday. That's for sure. Big one on Monday, Monday Night Football.
Victorious, Kev.
Let's go. 3 points is what we want. At ease, Squaddies.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.